Okay, Dragon Ball brothers and sisters out there. I actually have some very, very sad and devastating news to share with you guys tonight. So I've just found out it's been confirmed by the current voice of Frieza, Chris Ayres, that he does unfortunately have the lung condition known as OCPD. And what that basically means is, guys, is it's getting harder and harder for Chris to be able to breathe normally. Now, without getting too much into medical terminology here, what that basically means is since Chris's lungs are sort of so screwed up from the condition, if he doesn't find a suitable donor for a lung transplant pretty soon, the unfortunate truth is Chris does face the high possibility of maybe succumbing to the deadly effects of this terrible lung condition. Now, it's only been confirmed by Anime Live reactions, and from me further reading on Aries' personal Facebook, that yes, he has been battling the condition quietly for quite some time now, and over the past 3 months, he spent the majority of his time in the hospital, in ICU, in critical condition. And guys, I want us all to understand how serious this condition is. Because if Chris doesn't get the life-saving transplant that he needs, it could be, he could unfortunately not have long lived, being able to before he passes away. Now obviously this is devastating news for Chris and his entire family. This is obviously a very, very, very serious condition, and unfortunately Chris has even stated that he's in the final stage of OCPD, and he has the even more deadly condition of emphysema, which basically means perhaps from smoking or having his lungs become, I guess you could say, contaminated in some other way. Basically, that's made it super hard for him to breathe, and he's just developed the already serious OCPD on top of this. This could prove fatal for Chris, as I just stated a minute ago. So I want us all to send out a little prayer, a well wish, and all the good vibes to Chris and the Aries family during this difficult time. But I also do want to take the time to address, obviously, a more minor subject now. Obviously, since Chris is battling this life-threatening condition, it may very well mean, and if you ask me, it should mean that Chris probably will not be able to have recorded all of Frieda's lines for the current Universal Tournament of Power. A, because those episodes are just getting done airing over in Japan, and B, the guy shouldn't be worrying about anything other than focusing on itself. So, I do have a feeling that that the current resurrection of F-Arc could very well be the last time Chris gets to lend his voice to Frieza. Now, obviously, my point on this is obviously null and void to the bigger picture here, but if Chris unfortunately succumbs to his illness, obviously first of all that would be devastating, okay? But second, they would obviously have to get somebody to take up the flag of voicing Frieza. Now, here's my, I guess you could call it, selfish wish here. If Chris is to voice Frieza in the English version of the Tournament of Power, here's what I think is going to happen, okay? I think either they're going to get his brother Greg to do Frieza's voice if Chris becomes too ill to do it, or Funimation could do a very smart decision and honestly something that I've wanted from day one, which is to get the original Funimation voice of Frieza back. That would be Linda Young. Now, obviously, guys, like I just said, that's kind of a null and void point. But I think whether it's Linda, Greg, Chris's brother, whatever the case may be, Chris will probably not be able to lend his voice to Frieza in the Tournament of Power arc once the English version gets to that point. So either Greg or Linda, preferably Linda in my case, because guys, I want to touch on one more thing before I get back to the obviously main point of Chris's health. I know a lot of people do have much love for Chris's take on Frieza, but this is no disrespect to Chris, and if you're watching this, my friend, I sincerely do hope and wish for you to be able to beat the shit out of this illness and be alright again. But guys, Chris's version of Frieza, it's just not the version I'm used to. So if Chris does become too gravely ill, I would love it if Funimation would ask Linda to reprise her role as the original Frieza voice. Sorry about that, guys. But once again, that's a null and void point to the bigger picture, which is, again, I want us all to send maybe oil prayer if you're into the spiritual aspect kind of thing. But most of all, I want us all to send good wishes and positive vibes to Chris and the Aries family during this difficult time. So again, guys, Christopher Aries, the current voice of Frieza, is gravely ill with OCPD. And once again, best wishes to Chris and his family during this difficult time. Get better, my friend. God bless.